Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining the program today for Gita Gyan program. Every day morning we are reading Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So before joining the session, we'll take the blessings from ISKCON Sheshadripuram deities. Sri 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 Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai, Vamadev Bhagavan ki Jai, Sudarshana Bhagavan ki Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you start recording? Okay, yes. Hare Krishna.
Uh,
Yes, Prabhu. Hare
Nitai
Krishna.
Chaitanya Bhagavan ki Jai, Panchatattva ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Let us do our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Idinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're in chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized. And we have already, like Lord Krishna has started speaking in 2.11. And we have already covered 5 slokas. Let us read 16th sloka. नाशतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टान्तस्त्वन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of the both. Okay. So first, let us see. After Arjuna started speaking, like first chapter, it was all Arjuna, right? Arjuna, Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, that's it. So and Arjuna also said he has given his own reasons not to fight, right? The first thing what Lord Krishna said was, Prajna Vadamscha Bhashase. Like he said, you're talking like a learned man. So he is chastising. Straight away, the Lord said, your thought process is wrong. I'm sorry, just a minute. Straight away, the Lord said, your thought process is wrong. His way of thinking was wrong. So in the same way, here also, we are thinking, say here it says, Asat and Sat, right? There is Asat and Sat in this sloka. Asat means the body. Sat means the soul. Body is, it is not eternal, right? It will die. There will be death. There will be birth and there will be death for a body. But soul is Sat, eternal. It doesn't change. We also can see it ourselves. Srila Prabhupada says we can see that in ourselves. How when we are born, we can see the size, how small we will be, right? And slowly after, within 1 year, the kid starts walking, and then after 2-3 years, they become so big. 1 year to 1.5 year, they start speaking nicely within I think at the end of the 1 year. So the body is changing all the time, right? 4 years, and then they go to school from 5th or 6th years, and the body is changing from very small to young age, teenage, and then the middle age, old age, and at the very old age, you're very much nearer to death. Like the body is changing, but our identity doesn't change at all. We are always the same. Our thought process may change, but we remain the same. That is the difference that we have to understand here. And the next one is the biggest problem. The problem with us is misidentification. Srila Prabhupada says the reason of the biggest problem with us is misidentification. We are thinking we are this body. Let me enjoy this life. This life is the last. Let me enjoy this life. to the fullest. That's what our thought process is. And he says that that thought process is wrong. Um, we are actually a soul. We are not this body. That we have to understand. And here, what does the shloka say? For this body, there is no endurance. Why? It can't stop changing. Michael Jackson wanted to stop aging, but what happened? He had to, like, he couldn't do that, right? That's what exactly happened to him. In the same way, but for the soul doesn't change. Soul is always, it gets one body, and it leaves the body. Mm. And that is a process. It's just a process. And again, after death, again it will get another body according to the consciousness that is there at that time of the death. That's what the Lord says, right? You will reach me according to the thought process that you have at the time of death. You will reach that stage. If somebody is thinking this is very much attached to something, he will get a body uh, he will be nearer to that place after death. That's what exactly happens. And also the karma also uh, is taken into account. So here what the sloka says is, uh, you learn from the seers of the truth, right? Seers of the truth means somebody has learned the body and also about the soul. So we should approach the person who has seen these both. Who is that? That is the guru. So in the shloka, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka: Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshinaha, they have seen the truth. So what do we have to do? We have to approach them. And what we have to do after approaching, we have to ask questions in a humble manner. And also we have to do service to them. And then when we do that, and when we ask them questions, they will they are already self-realized, so they will give their self-realized thoughts to us, right? The information, uh, the ignorance, they will remove the ignorance. The reason why we came here is because of the ignorance. The Lord is the, we have already seen Bhagavan. Lord is the Bhagavan. So but we wanted to become Bhagavan, so we came here. So to remove that ignorance, the Guru will give us uh, uh, the instructions of how to remove our ignorance and how to remove our envy. For example, when we get ill, we go to the, I mean, not for small diseases, but some major ones, we go to the specialist doctor. We don't go to the local doctor, right? For specialist, to cure big diseases, we don't go to the local doctor. We go to the specialist, right? In the same way, flight, for example, we want to learn how to uh, use a flight, right? How to drive a flight. What do? We take a lot of training from them, right? For 2 years, 3 years, there's a lot of training, the exam, and then they give us a certification. In the same way, we all of us use Google Maps, right? We are using the top. We are using directions from the best ones, right? And then, but when it comes to spirituality, we don't want to take directions from the learned ones. That is the problem with us. So that's why we should approach the Guru, and when we serve him nicely, with not in a questionable manner, but in a nice, we should ask questions in a humble way, and we will get. Yeah, it's not like we can approach one Guru and listen to them. We can approach many gurus and try to understand what they're talking, like that. We can understand the essence of what they're saying. Now, Srila Prabhupada says, uh, if I give a lot, the scientist says, oh, they don't really believe in all this soul and body, right? What they say is, oh, you're a bunch of chemicals. So Srila Prabhupada says, okay, I'll give you a lot of chemicals. Can you make this body for me? So that hasn't happened until now, right? And once the soul is gone, you can't bring it back with different chemicals and all that, right? It is gone. That's it. It gets perished. So we have to understand that. So, and also the other thing is, there is a eternal relationship between the soul and the super soul. Srila Prabhupada says, uh, and that relationship we have lost because of the envy on the Lord. There is a difference here. One is the energy and the other one is energetic. They might look same, but the energy is us. The energy has been given to us, but the energetic, who has given the energy to us? The energetic, the Lord has given, the super soul, the energetic. Energy is us. It's like that. We have to think like that. And how can we remove the ignorance? We have seen we have to approach a guru. And the other ways also. Srila Prabhupada used to say to, once the disciples of Srila Prabhupada asked him, how do we survive after, when he was in the old age, he was asked, how do we survive without you after you leave? And he said, I am always in my books. I'm never gone. I'm always there in my books. So if you read my books, I'm always there with you. Like that he used to say. So we have to read the books to remove our ignorance. That we have to understand. And also, why was Bhagavad Gita narrated to us by Lord Krishna? Because to remove our ignorance. Why did he come back? Like he says, Sambhavami yuge yuge. He's coming in different ages, right? So why is he coming? Because he loves us. The reason why he is giving us all these Bhagavad Gita slokas, he could have said, you're a soul, you're not this body, you're part and parcel of me, come and serve me. Like that he could have said. But what is he saying? Just to describe about the soul, he is giving from 2.11 to 2.31. 20 slokas he is describing about soul and the body. Why? Because he loves us. He wants to explain to us nicely, one after the other, to remove our misconceptions. So we have to understand this, and we have to at least try to read the books with the humility. We'll definitely understand that. Yes, it is very hard to understand the concept of body and soul, because we are so much attached to this body. So to remove this ignorance, we have to read those books. And first chapter and second chapter are the key for Bhagavad Gita. And let us see a small example of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was in the womb of his mother, she takes the shelter of Narad Muni, because Indra comes to kill the wife, Hiranyakashipu's wife. So she takes the shelter of Narad Muni. And Narad Muni starts talking about all the Bhagavatam, and the mother might be sleeping at that time. Sometimes the mother sleeps, but Prahlad Maharaj always listens. He keeps saying, and he's listening to all different narrations. He says, he's listening. And when he comes out, he becomes a devotee of the Lord, and he preaches, and he preaches to his father also. But what has happened to Dhruva? Dhruva didn't know. He was challenged he was challenged when he was not able to get nearer to the father. The stepmother says, you can't sit near the father. So he goes to the forest to tapa. And there also Narad Muni instructs him, do this jap, tapa. And he starts doing tapa. He does a wonderful tapa. And what happens? The Lord comes and he says, what do you want? When actually his idea was to gain 3 times the size of the universe. The moment he sees the Lord, he says, I don't want anything. I have seen you now, I don't want anything. See, he is giving importance from materialistic things to spiritual things. That we have to understand here. So first important thing is to remove our ignorance that I am not the body, I'm a soul. And how we can do this? We have to do austerity. When we do austerity, Lord Krishna also says, if we are too much attached to bodily sense gratification, the want, the zeal, the desire to know about to remove the ignorance, to know about the Lord, to serve the Lord doesn't come. So that's why we have to do little austerity, and that will go far away. It will help us in understanding the spirituality, to understand, to differentiate between the soul and the body. It will help us a lot. So thank you, dear devotees. I will end the session today. Thank you for joining. Thank you, dear Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.